Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it's Monday in the Riv.
And we had kind of a false start there.
yeah. Well, we got a little, but so I guess your weekend flushed out a few.
Yeah, we're haters, and we don't. The thing is, we don't hate the mayor. We don't hate him. We just don't like what he does. There's a big difference. You can hate the actions and not hate the person. So that's the first thing. But secondly, one of the things that was brought up was the fact that the mayor was invited down into the well at the city council chamber by city council president Cliff Ponte. And I checked on that, and it's true. He was invited down into the well, which I think Cliff Ponte made a mistake doing that. But I'm not going to get into that. That's Cliff Ponte's call, not mine. But again, I don't think the mayor had the right to turn around and order the city council to table this matter.
And technically, he didn't order it. He just said they should, and he's got no right to interfere into that. So forget about it. We don't hate, but we got some of lovers. We have Jazel lovers.
Zombies.
No matter what he does, he's okay, and it's great. And the reality is that we're not. We got to call him as we see him, and the reality is that. If we didn't call him as we see him, we might be getting a stipend. So it's costing us money. We could get $10,000 for showing up and doing nothing and let the other people. But if they keep their mouth shut, they get rewarded. I see John Perry's been named as the head of the Fall River Department of Community Maintenance, so he can sit there, take his $2,000 stipend and watch Jen Andre drink coffee, and they do all the work, and that's what they get paid to do, and watch a salaried employee get extra money, which she's not entitled to, because when you're on salary, anybody who's ever been on salary knows they'll run you into the ground. You can work 80, 90-hour weeks. Nobody cares. That's your salary. You took the job. This is all part of your duties and responsibilities. And by the way, speaking about duties and responsibilities, it is the duty and responsibility of community maintenance to do snow removal.
That's right.
So the acting head and all those people there, that's their job. And if Jen Andrade had to get a stipend for coming in to help them do their job, as we said before, they don't belong in those positions. So everybody gets a stipend. Monica gets a stipend, she gets a stipend, and the two stipends put together are more than the average per capita income in the city of Fall River.
That's right. So
that's a travesty, and I don't care how you want to cut it, Zombies. All he's ever done is live large on the taxpayer dime. And all his friends are living large on a taxpayer's dime. I mean, it's ridiculous. And didn't somebody post a video on Facebook with the mayor saying that he could get along without a chief of staff?
Yes, he said that during his campaign.
Yeah, there's one position I can get along without, but apparently he can't now. And he also was in favor of purple bags. And what other flips we can go on forever with Jazel's flips, but then again, we're only saying that because.
But again, during the campaign season,
and you remember, it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's a fact. It's not. We didn't make this up. They actually have an audio and a video of him saying this.
Well, it was during his debate with Linda Pereira during his campaign.
They made that up. It's the haters. The haters did that. The haters did that.
But the thing is that when does campaign promises ever come true?
True. Yeah. Well, the only truism is that they never come true.
That's right.
But it is what it is. But it's nice to see that what we discussed has become news. Support bills for superintendent, Diman superintendent after school board votes against contract renewal. Many members of the Diman school community were flawed. Yeah, what a flawed. It amazes me why these people, like, they're in shock and awe when they see politics. And it's like, don't you realize where you're living? They're going to build a new Diman. We got to get the people in place so we can take care of them and all their friends and our friends. So we got to get rid of this guy. We got to put our guy in there. We got to have the people on the committee. And look at the people on the committee. They're political hacks. They're all appointed. Remember when they were going to give brilliant full-time wages for part-time work?
Yep.
And that was a big thing. You know, they're the bastions, and it's amazing how people they're oblivious to the reality of what's around them. You just don't pay attention. Did you happen to see Full Measure this Sunday? I watched it all the time because it's really they re-air it in the evening. It was funny. They talked about an alcohol study that they commissioned and how they fundamentally bribed doctors who I don't know how they still have their medical license once this came out. What a surprise. A study came out the way the people who were paying for the study wanted it to come out. They had these huge grants associated with coming out not only saying that a couple of drinks are good for you, it's actually part of a healthy lifestyle. So the liquor industry funded the thing, and they actually had conversations and emails between some of the doctors that were doing the study, talking about how they were going to fundamentally make it so. Manipulate data. And, you know, is that something new? No, it isn't. Don't we remember the Center for Policy Analysis? Do we all remember that place?
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie Lambert, everything Eddie Lambert did, you know, if the city had to buy new toilet paper, we had to go to the Center of Policy Analysis at UMass Dartmouth for everything. And then everything they said was carved in stone. Nobody has figured out the naivete of these people is just mind-boggling. They're shocked. They're shocked. What I'm shocked at is that somebody with a medical license, isn't there some kind of oath? Isn't the Hippocratic oath do no harm?
Yep.
So you're gonna come out with a study to tell people to drink alcohol, then everybody that dies of cirrhosis of the liver, you know, you're responsible for. You think you're not doing any harm by telling people alcohol is good for them? And that you should encourage them to drink alcohol as part of a healthy lifestyle? That's just so ludicrous. I look at these programs and I'm going, my God, no wonder this country's so screwed up. Does everybody here been eating lead paint chips? I mean, I look at this stuff and I go, my God, and this is national news, and of course it should be national news. I mean, it's reprehensible that people who supposedly are physicians and men with credentials supposedly and who have sworn oaths can collude in a study like that to the detriment of public health. But then now we see the Diman School. Well, of course, good. I'm glad the public's coming to their support. Let's see how effective they are. As long as you vote our way, we'll pretend that you count. As soon as you're not going to get our candidate, we're going to tell you, yeah, the hell with you. Go sit in the corner, put your dunce cap on, and our superdelegates are going to put the person in that we want. You know, that's just the reality. The only choice we have in society is paper or plastic, and plastic is quickly going. So, but it's just, you know, I mean, we're seeing kangaroo courts every day. And they talk about, again, without providing examples, Menard and Auburn implemented new policies and initiatives without looping in the school committee. To get things quickly and get things done right. That's why she did it. To get things done right for political reasons. That's the same Joe Menard that got a nice job for 120 G's and then passed it down to her daughter with the state. So this is the kind of stuff that, you know, you got to go crazy, and you just got to get these people out of office. I mean, she was up in Boston so long, she was part of the woodwork. And then when she left, she wasn't satisfied. She continues today on committees and stuff, and then make these statements to get things done. Like she's the Oracle at Delphi. I remember many years ago, she stuck her nose in an ongoing contract negotiation between the firefighters and the city of Fall River, made a public statement in the paper. That's one of the reasons she's not a big fan of mine, because I complained to some very, we still had a lot of power up in Boston because Dusty Orr was the president, and he went to talk to the president, Senate president, and she was told, you have no right sticking your nose in an ongoing collective bargaining. You're not supposed to make any public comments. I couldn't. The city shouldn't, but she did as a state senator. And she actually, and I have to give her credit, not that she did it voluntarily, but I guess she got scolded enough to where she actually issued a public apology in the newspaper for interfering with the negotiations. But that's what they do. That's what they do. When Mike Roderick walked in and strong-armed the decision reversal, the hell with the people, the hell with the rail trail. I'm going to go in here and use my political office to strong-arm for special interest groups. And what happens? I'm going to go to New Hampshire and buy it after I pass a tax for the poor people in Massachusetts that can't drive to New Hampshire to buy their liquor. But there he is again, running unopposed, and they just keep getting in and in and in. So who do I blame? Do I blame them? Nah. They're doing what benefits them. As Bonaparte said, self-interest. Now he's got a big money guy that's beholden to him.
Well, they all listen to station WIIFM. What's in it for me?
That's, yeah, right. And it's like now, like I said, Diman School, apparently, very rarely do you see a teachers union and a superintendent, they have their issues. But I guess this guy isn't a bad guy, from all intents and purposes.
He's got the parents, he's got the students, he's got the children, the unions.
The union, and everybody thinks he's doing a pretty good job. But who doesn't think he's doing a good job? Politicians, because they want to put their guy in. And just like our chief of staff, everybody that's in politically and is getting a stipend thinks she should get a stipend. Oh, she deserves it. And we're haters for saying that. Well, like I said, in a time long ago in a galaxy far, far away, in Fall River, when people actually had jobs and there were stores on...
And wanted to work.
and had stores on Main Street and Pleasant Street, department heads are expected to run their departments. We didn't need all these assistants to the assistants and more assistants. So now we have all these tiers of high-paid political hacks with stipends to do the job of somebody that's getting 6 figures or nearly 6 figures to run a department. Well, congratulations to John Perry on being named the new head
again.
until he doesn't do what he's told, and then he'll be the headless department head. Congratulations, and remember, when the snow removal comes and the plows are out and you're the head of that department, you don't have to run it. You got Jen there.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is this was a revolving door job, if you remember.
Yeah.
I mean, Ken Pacheco had it for a number of years.
Yeah.
And then when the mayor privatized trash, which I still think is a big mistake, although he's saying it's saving money, although it keeps going up $1 million a year, he moved over to the school department. And he left the municipal side of government. And then Correa tried to hire Christopher Okafor. And you remember what we said about him. Okay, he lied about his salaries. The job offer was rescinded when it was found out that he wasn't truthful about his former salary. The job was then given to Rhode Island resident Adriano Ponciano, the ice house keeper.
Ice house guy. Yep.
That's right. Okay.
Well qualified.
Right. And despite a 2-year contract, he was dismissed 6 months later. And then Ponciano was replaced by Perry in January of 2017, but was placed back in his former job as second in command at DCM when Little was transferred from his former position as an engineer in the city water department. And Little took the job and went on leave right away. And he was on leave until April of this year. And John's been doing the job ever since. So
just remember, though, in all, you know,
all the mayor's people, all the mayor's people.
Ponciano, not one ice cube melted
That's right.
when he was the ice house god. So I can see them hiring him for a short time.
Yeah, but no snow got moved either.
That's right.
It would get moved either.
Like you said, look, these are all, they bounce around like Chinese checkers, but they're all, you can trace them. Now, we should have a segment on our show, CJ. We should talk, you know that thing every once in a while when you read in a newspaper about stars, where are they now?
Yep.
We should get like political hacks. Where are they
Where
now?
are they now?
Where are they now? And we can trace it. It would be like, well, Faust Fiore. Where is he now? He's at minimum housing. But where was he first? We can, the man that started out as the press agent and whatever euphemism they call
Special assistant to the mayor.
Special assistant. Oh yeah, very special assistant. Now he's over there. What happened to Chris Peranio, chief of staff, gone to bigger and better things? Then when he couldn't find any bigger or better things than getting a public dole job, back to the cemeteries. Now, where is he now?
And burying bodies in the wrong graves.
In the wrong graves. So, it's just crazy.
This shows how this mayor hires qualified people.
Yeah, he's never seen a resume that he didn't like when it was given to him by a friend.
By a political supporter,
That's
exactly.
right, by a supporter, and because let's face it, a chief of staff
is a glorified secretary.
And how did that position evolve? Where did it come from?
It was a secretary.
It was a secretary's job, a secretary who they were looking to give a pay raise to. So what did they do? They changed the title, and they attached this giant, and there was also issues about getting money from CDA, remember?
Right.
Getting a salary from CDA while doing the simultaneous job. So all these things have happened before. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. But and talking about the math, he said, I guess I'll have to go back to school because Mary Sahadi's going to figure out how he saved money. She's going to, rather than adding, she's going to subtract. I don't know how you can pay somebody $10,000, a $10,000 stipend to do somebody else's job who's also getting a stipend and a salary for doing that job. But the city saved money. I'm going to love to see the creative mathematics they're going to use to come up with this one. I just can't wait.
It's always lots of fun to watch the mathematics coming out of the financial team. The Pinocchio sisters do a great job.
Yeah. Oh, and I see you refer to them as very good in the weekend flush. But I love the when I read these articles, I just like it's such a crap without providing examples. They wanted to get things done quickly and get things done right. Really. Get things done right politically, because getting things done quickly when you are selecting a superintendent of schools, the person who is in charge of educating our children, especially vocational education today, because vocational education is a very important part. They've proven that those technical skills, there's more of a market for people with a vocational education than just a general
And plumbers
education.
are making more money than doctors.
And plumbers and electricians and stuff. And as you know, statistically, the last statistic I looked at, there were 10 million jobs in the United States that are unfilled because of lack of technical skills.
Well, I know when I needed a plumber for a new hot water tank.
Yeah.
I called over, and I called several of them, and they were giving me 3-4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Well, my tenants can't wait 3 or 4 weeks for hot water.
You got a better chance of getting surgery.
Yeah.
You can call your doctor and get scheduled for a surgery quick, and then you can find a plumber unless you've got a friend of yours who's on speed dial. That's just a typical Joan Menard. When she poo-pooed our contract negotiation and made totally erroneous statements, she wants to get things done quickly. Really? You really think you should be on a school committee when you think rushing to judgment on a superintendent, especially a superintendent who apparently has pretty broad support throughout the community in the demographics that he really has to make happy.
Right.
Children, parents, labor, and you're just gonna, we gotta rush to judgment because we gotta rush, just like we couldn't wait for Ken Fiola to come back from vacation, could we? We had to get that meeting discussed at length. No, here's a renewal of a contract to somebody apparently is doing and they didn't even say he did a bad job.
Exactly.
They couldn't even say that. The guy is doing so well, they couldn't say that he screwed up. They said, well, we need somebody with a different vision. Or what they meant was, we need somebody that has our vision.
Right.
Who you're going to employ and who you're going to give all the benefits to.
Exactly. And, you know, it's really sad because, as you know, for many, many years, the Housing Authority was the dumping ground for political hacks.
Yep.
And in some ways, it still is.
Yeah, it was the MBTA of Fall River.
Of Fall River, exactly. And now it seems like Diman, they're trying to make Diman the dumping ground because Fall River has the most votes on that school committee. Because I think it's like 1 vote to Somerset and Swansea and 1 vote to Westport, and we have 3 votes. And there's
Berkeley in there. Do they have Berkeley in there? I don't know.
I'm not. No, Berkeley goes to Taunton,
Taunton
Bristol,
vote?
Plymouth. Yeah. But each of them get like one apiece. So there's 3 from outside the city, and there's 4 from within the city, or 2 from outside the city, and something along that line. And what happens is, you had 2 of the city school committee members vote to get rid of him, and 1 who had a backbone. That was the newly appointed one. That was Father Jay Mello, newly appointed. And he had backbone. Because I guess he listened to what people were saying about him. Oh, wait a minute, he had ears, he listened. Oh my God, he's acting individually. I wonder how long he's gonna be on the school committee.
Well, I think maybe he's got like a directive from his boss. You're not supposed to really lie a lot, you know. Because, yeah, but like I said, look, we've been around a long time. We know about politics. We know this is something we talk about and we're furious about. And there's only one way to get rid of these people, but you seemingly can't because people just don't. They won't.
They're not going to get rid of their guy.
But. Like I said, the thing that disturbs me more than anything else are the ridiculous excuses and rationalizations they come with.
Oh, yeah.
Come up with to justify this action. You know, you want to get things quote, and this is a quote. Menard own this. You don't own anything. What you own is your political hackness. That's what you own. You know, and you haven't cornered the market on that. And that's a new word I created, hackness. So, political hackness.
I'll submit it to Webster.
That's right. Submit it. We're going to submit that. But get things done quickly and get things done right. You mean politically right. You know, obviously, if you get rid of a guy who everybody likes and is doing a decent job, and your only excuse is you need somebody who has the same vision. It's like the Democratic Party saying that we don't want this guy as a Supreme Court judge because he's not a Democrat. Well, that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean, it's a specific job. Party lines, we've become so divisive because of everything has to be done because of partisanship. Where is the justice? There is no justice. Why has there not been anything done about the pharmaceutical industry? Why? Because politicians will have hearings and they will yell and scream and stamp and bang on the podium and tell these pharmaceutical CEOs who are getting $18 million pay raises, who have annual salaries of $32.8 million, and they will berate them and point fingers and say it's wrong. And ultimately, what will they do? Zero. Nada. Nothing. Because all it is saber rattling and political posturing. And those are the people that have to go. I mean, everybody, you know, medical care is the biggest cost that we face. We don't get our best bang for our buck, and who do we have to blame for that? the feds. So we have to drain that swamp.
Yep. You know, there was once a law on the books that restricted hospitals from making a profit, but they rescinded that, of course.
Of course.
And now the hospitals make a profit, so they can keep tacking on the money right, left.
And profit drives majority of. Look at and big money. Like I said, they can sell to the people. Like I said, that have been eating too much lead paint, licking the lead paint. Because when they talked about nurse staffing, that thing went down in flames.
That's right.
Because these guys that are sitting on the board of directors that are making 6 figures and some 7 figures, high 6 figures and 7 figures, are telling you that hiring a couple of more nurses to give you care rather than strap a nurse and have her waiting on, dealing and caring for so many patients, you can't get her. You're sitting in your room hitting your buzzer for 45 minutes and nobody's coming in your room. That's okay. These 6 and 7 figured board of directors, it's like the board of directors at Charlton. I mean, last time I checked, they were making stupendous salaries.
Yeah, but you see, if they hire an extra nurse, somebody's not going to get that extra salary.
And I mean big 6-figure salaries.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it.
And most of them don't live in the city of Fall River.
Nope.
Most of them probably don't go to Charlton. And the reality is, and the irony, not the reality, the irony of this is that Charlton is supposed to be a nonprofit hospital. Check the salaries of their board of directors.
That's why they're nonprofit.
And there is like I said, the irony is that if they kill you, of one of your family, you can't sue them for over.
I think it's $10,000. Or something like that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember talking to Jeff Rossman, who settled the biggest lawsuit in the history of Massachusetts against hospitals, or Worcester Hospital and Boston Hospital, and he said nonprofits. He said they're insulated.
Yeah, they are. They are.
But their board of directors make huge money.
Of
and
course.
The hell with your care. But again, if you can't stay angry.
Nope.
I don't know what'll get you angry.
Right.
Here's the season to be jolly. La 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 la.
Wednesday we will not be having a show.
That's right.
So we will see you on Friday. I want to thank you for watching, and remember, stay angry. By the way, there's an article in the Herald News called Policy Change Could Shrink Community TV. It's a large article. Please read it and see what the FCC is going to do about this station.
It's the haters that are trying to get us, CJ.
That's it. Have a good one.